What's up, everybody? This is Tucker Bearden, and I am your host. Welcome to the very first episode of the Stay Humble, Hustle Hard podcast with our amazing guest, Chris Jones. Hey, I tell y'all what, let me throw this up here real quick. Look, the Stay Humble, Hustle Hard podcast is where we interview the men and women out there building this country one business at a time while keeping it humble and true, so you can learn how to hustle hard too. Get your hustle on. Okay, let's get it going. Let's bring in Chris.
Yes, Tucker, what's going on, bro?
What's up, bud? Let me see if I can bring you in here. We can see you?
I'm here, bro.
Let's see. All right. I'm trying to get it to actually work. There we go. Okay. Wait, what happened? I lost you. Where are you at? Okay. All right. Yeah, we're good. All right, cool. I don't know. I had a technical difficulty right there. But what is up, brother? How are you doing, man? It is a blessing to have you on the show, everybody. This is the legendary Chris Jones. Hey, look, we're gonna get directly into this, man. All right, you ready?
Let's do this, bro. Whatever you need, I'm here.
All right. So we're going to start it off with a little bit about you. For those of you who don't know who Mr. Chris Jones is, hey, bud, who are you? What is your background? Where do you come from? So let's hear
it. Yeah, so I'm actually living in Wales, in Pembrokeshire, which is a small place within the United Kingdom, so away from all of the kind of norm of what normally happens in the US when it comes to all the Amazon stuff. So my little backstory is pretty much, I started as a personal trainer. I was working as a personal trainer in and around gyms in the UK, England, Wales, this, that, here and there. And it came to the point, honestly, and this just sounds cheesy because it's sometimes like I don't like to tell this story because it seems like I made it up. But yeah, one night after the gym, like hard ass hustle all day in the gym, sweating my everything off. And I went home, opened up the laptop, and I was like, right, there has to be something better and much easier to make money than slogging my guts around the gym 12 to 16 hours a day, right? So I'm 26 years old right now, 27 years old, August the 12th. Don't forget to send me a birthday present, people. And and yeah, so I actually opened up my laptop at that time, and I just typed in, and this was back in early 2015, and I typed in, how do I make money while I sleep, or something along those lines, or how do I make money online? And long story short, then I found Amazon FBA, which of course is where most of Facebook and YouTube and stuff like that, which is selling physical products on Amazon. And that's pretty much where it all started. And, the journey's been great over the last near 4 years. I started my first company in May 2015. And the rest is history until this point.
Man, dude, so man, look, I've looked a lot into that Amazon FBA. I tell you, one of my first businesses was actually buying and selling used books. Buying them from thrift stores and selling them on Amazon FBA. I'm actually, I want to connect with you later on after the show and learn a little bit more. So I heard you. So you mentioned that you started a business on Amazon, but as of right now, what is your hustle? Like what is it that you do? What is your business as of right now?
So I've actually made a little bit of history in the old Amazon game, right? So over the last few years, I've noticed and came to a realization that I actually don't like being in business alone. Like partners and with friends, I like to have someone that can keep me accountable and I can keep them accountable, and it's much more of a fun process. So the business is still what it is. I still sell physical products on Amazon. Primarily, 95% I sell it in the US. Only a very small amount in the UK now. Under 10 products in total, and I'm actually working in contractual partnership agreements. So I actually do not myself as an individual own an Amazon account. So that's probably the first person who can call themselves an Amazon seller who doesn't actually own an Amazon account. And what I mean by that is I work with people to help build their brands up. So if you want to call it, I'm a co-founder of 7 companies, co-founder of 7 brands, and I co-found or I co-own 7 Amazon accounts. So all these, my partners, my friends, they leverage my knowledge. We use their money to start up a brand on Amazon, and then we continue that path. We reinvest the profits, and then we go boom, 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 boom. We keep that going very consistently. So the business model is this exactly started back in 2015. It's still selling physical products on Amazon. It's still private labeling. It's still branding products in a big ass industry, such as coffee, such as supplements, such as health food. Those are what we like to go into. We go into consumables. The majority of my partners, we are in consumables or like high grade kind of categories, such as premium categories. We don't like to sell or like to build basic companies. We don't like to develop boring and bland ass products. We like to go into big products, big industries with a massive amount of competition. Therefore, we can strip some good revenue from there each month and then be in some good profit. So for anybody who just took that very long-winded, it's Amazon FBA, fulfillment by Amazon. We're private labeling products that are already selling very, very well on Amazon, online, and in life in general. We're rebranding that product to our own logo, our own company name, our own tagline, and then we're re-putting that, our own physical product, onto Amazon, and they do the fulfillment for us. So that is called private labeling via Amazon FBA.
So you're killing me. You have to turn me down on the other end. Hey, dude, you got to turn me down on the other side. I can hear myself.
Okay, how about that, bro?
All right, bro. So if I were to take my logo, Stay Humble, Hustle Hard. Actually, it's hard to show on here, but yeah, if I were to take my logo, would that be the same thing? If I took my logo, put it on T-shirts, put it on mugs, put it on whatever it is that you put stuff on, and throw it and buy it. So I would buy a physical product and send it to Amazon's warehouse, correct?
Yeah, correct.
Okay,
so
all right.
I've actually got a perfect example right here, right? I'm not sure if you can see me because it doesn't look like my camera's on my side, but if you can see this.
Yes,
so this was like one of my first. So this is like a fat burner, right? So all I did was, the health industry is massive. The supplement industry is absolutely ginormous. Therefore, it's consumables. It's repeat purchases every 30 days. So exactly what you just said with the logo of the hustle, you would put that onto something like a mug or a t-shirt or a notepad or whatever it is. And you would make sure that the product that you were putting your logo on sells well on Amazon. Therefore, you can maximize your sales process and in turn increase your profits, right? So that's all that we're doing. We're putting a label on a product that's already been made over in China, overseas, on Alibaba, more than likely. Unless you're selling consumables, that's done via Google. Reach out to manufacturers in the US, UK, EU, and then you're rebranding it with your own style, your own design, and then you'll reposition it back into the marketplace of which you want to sell on within Amazon. And so, and in one of the questions that someone asked me, they said, "How do you know you're in a good industry in life?" And that was like, I kind of sat back and I thought, that's a good question. And I think the only way to answer that question is I'm in the industry of selling stuff, like selling physical products. We've always, as humans, we're always going to want to buy stuff. Like right here, I've got a water glass, I've got notepads, I've got a protein shaker, I've got a supplement, I've got pens, I've got a table, I've got, coffee cups, all of this stuff. So it's a big industry. It's a massive industry. And all in Amazon's marketplace to take orders from people, to take the money, to then reinvest and grow our brands bigger. So exactly what you said, get a logo, get a tagline, get a sick design, put it on a product that's already selling well within the marketplace, and then go in for profits. Buy for cheap, sell for a profit. Buy for cheap, sell for a profit.
Oh man, so basically it's Amazon FBA, y'all. That's it in a handbasket for you. And I noticed that you mentioned in there Alibaba.com. I personally know what Alibaba.com is, but could you expand upon that a little bit for those of our viewers who don't know what it is?
Yeah, so Alibaba is pretty much a place where you buy a product in very short, basic terms. Is if you want to go and sell, let's say a whatever a coffee mug, right? So you want to bring a coffee mug to market, a really stylish coffee mug. So it's like got hints of sky blue, it's nice ice white, it's ceramic, whatever it is, and you want to bring it to market, but you can't find it anywhere. So you go onto Alibaba. That's Alibaba. Another one is AliExpress. So AliExpress, same sort of concept. So that's where you will find products to buy for cheap with those manufacturers that you're buying from. They will be able to print, customize, and put embroidery logos, whatever you want on terms of that product, packaging, design, you name it, they can do it. You contact them through Alibaba. You will place an order for a sample order and then a mass order quantity based on their minimum order quantities. And then their cost price, say if a coffee mug is $1, you buy 500 MOQ at $1, $500 for your first order. Then you put them on Amazon for $6.99. And that's what it is. So those guys are the manufacturer of Alibaba, usually overseas in China. There's a lot in the US as well, different kind of industries, right? And they will send those products after branding them directly over to Amazon. And all you're just the middleman in this business model. You're just the middleman. And it's a couple of emails here and there, confirming the design, get the branding, make sure your marketing and advertising is done well on Amazon in order to show up on the search engine, and then for someone to click through and actually buy your product. So it's when it's on Amazon, stepping away from Alibaba slightly, is you've got to be found on Amazon in order to like someone to see your page, a buyer to actually go onto your product listing and go, yeah, that's awesome. I love the sound of that title. I like the images. I like the description. The price is good. Happy days. I'm going to add that to basket. So number one, you want your product to be found on Amazon, obviously. And then number two, you want your product to be bought on Amazon, which is convertibility. That's number two. So Alibaba, little kind of more than you expect. That's the breakdown.
That's what I'm looking for. So quick question. This will be my final question on Amazon specifically. And that is, has their new storage rules, have they affected you in any way? Because I know they recently sent out an email to me saying that I had too many books in the warehouse and that I only could take up so many feet by so many feet. Has this affected your business in any way?
No, not at all. I mean, storage fees, if we're selling a supplement, storage fees are like 3 cents a month product. So you've 3 cents a month per unit you're selling. You're going to shift units. If you've done everything right, you're going to sell products by the masses, right? So this is why I always tell people, don't go with big, heavy items because Amazon will put them in oversized storage, okay? So you want to make sure that your product fits into old school style into a shoebox. So it's light in weight, it's small in size, it's easy to ship, and it sells repeatedly all the 365 days a year. So that's with the storage stuff. No, it's number one because we're so confident in our sales that they'll just keep going. And yeah, we go for items that don't take much storage fees in terms of cost. So yeah, we make sure that we prioritize looking at all of that information before we even start the initial development of the product.
Okay. All right. But so if somebody wanted to get into your industry, if somebody wanted to get into selling things on Amazon FBA, say they don't have much money, say, let's break it down to really small. Say they had 100. What would you suggest, and how would somebody step into your industry?
I would suggest saving up. I honestly, I don't think there's too many. There's not too much you can do with $100 these days. I mean, I would honestly, if someone comes to me with $100, branding on its own can take. But you have to remember, my niche is very specific here. I am not talking about eBay flipping them onto Amazon. I'm not talking about going to Walmart or Tesco and buying from there and putting on AdSense. You could start with $100, but that is not my expertise. I'm talking private labeling. This is Amazon FBA, building a brand. So $100 is not going to get you far at all. I would always recommend a couple of $1,000 because you want to. Everyone has to remember one single product. If you do it well enough, is something that could put your company on the map, right? So it's something that you really want to pay attention to. Save up. If you've got $100 now, work on 6 months, work on building up your social media page, build all of that up instead of jumping into Amazon straight away. Build an audience, slowly build an audience on Facebook, on Instagram, on your website, on your blog, on YouTube, audience, and then see what they want in terms of a product release. Instead of just going in, releasing a product, and then wondering after you brought it out, actually, is this what people want? If you're starting with minimal capital, I recommend raising that capital up and putting that into social media, building your brand that way, and not thinking about the product for 6 months. I know that sounds almost backwards, but you need a couple of thousand or more moving forward because there's more competition coming on. There's more people with better branding, better products, higher quality. So you have to think you have to think 3 to 5 years ahead of now in order to stay ahead of the competition. So you need money. I'm not going to sit here and say you can start with $500 because it's not viable.
Okay. Hey man, that day, like I said, every time I ask you a question, like I expect a little, and you just go in and you kill it. You're knocking it out the park, man. I tell you, it was a good choice to have you for episode number 1 of the Stay Humble Hustle Hard podcast. So since that's part of it, I have to ask, what does staying humble really mean to you in not just life but in business?
This is actually a question that's quite difficult to answer for me because I will be totally honest. Okay, so as for people who don't know, I bought the BMW i8, like my dream car, like almost 8-10 months ago, right? All of that was due to taking risks, sacrificing all of that stuff. Now there was a certain element of getting that supercar that wasn't so much from what I wanted as opposed to impressing other people. And I'll say it, and that's really, there was a certain aspect I was more excited to post that car's photo on social media than anything else in terms of driving it. Now from that point, that realization, I think I've really honed in like the humbleness of what I've been trying to do. Even though I post photos of it, I post doing this and that, I'm always working on being like the best version of that I possibly can. And yeah, I'm trying to do things that make me happy, enjoyed, and fulfilled, other than looking what other people are expecting that I should be doing. So that's an indirect answer to kind of an indirect question. But I would say, because I speak so openly, honestly, and so transparently with everything I do, that every single video I put out, every single status I write, every single post I put out there to Facebook, YouTube, whatever it is, every single post is helping me to draw more into that humble side of myself. So that's more so, it's an ongoing thing. I don't think it's ever coming to an end. And I think the learning process of staying consistent with that will really open that up even more for myself. So yeah.
Hey, that's awesome, brother. That's awesome. Around here, we always keep it humble. And, when some people hear that, they say, well, what do you mean when you say keeping it humble? Hey, I just mean keeping it honest. I remember when I was little, I remember a plumber actually told me that he said, there's no such thing as an honest mechanic or an honest plumber. They can't make a living. And that really stuck with me, and I wanted to prove them wrong. That you can make an honest living, you can others in not only business but in life. So I have, speaking of life, you thought that question was hard. Wait till you get this one. All right, here's the zinger for you. If you had 5 minutes to live, and everyone in the world could hear you speak, what would be your message to the world?
I think to me, that's pretty easy, right? So I work around the clock. Like I work 16, 18 hours a day. I'm up sometimes at 4 to 1 a.m. Like last night, I didn't sleep until 3 a.m. Now, there is a crucial part of that process that always, every single fucking hour of the day makes me think, we're on a hustle podcast. And for me to say that is very difficult, right? So every hour that goes by, every struggle, every failure, every lesson learned that goes past, it always makes me think, why am I striving to do so much? Why can't I take a day off? And there's always that part of me that would say to someone, work, but don't let it control your life. Because I've been through the process, and I am now, and it's hard. It's like a fucking addiction. It's an obsession to just to work, to progress, to get results every single day. But I would say to someone, work for freedom in terms of time freedom and financials. Once you've achieved that goal, don't forget about friends, don't forget about family, don't forget about the good times that you can have as opposed to working around the clock and chasing the next one, whatever it is. So I would say to someone, while you're living in today, don't forget about tomorrow. Say yes to doing things, say yes to this and that. And life is there it's there for experiences, discoveries, and more so for memory. So if we're working around the clock, and yes, we're on this podcast now, just don't forget to take the time for yourself to enjoy the fruits of what you've put in terms of the hustle. Enjoy the cheese, baby, because you never know. And this is another thing, you can never guarantee tomorrow. Like, yes. Chris, you're working so much now, you're turning this down, you're not going out for a meal with your friend, you're not going there, you're not going on this holiday. And it's like, shit, I could not wake up tomorrow morning. So do your work, but enjoy the fruits.
Hey, that's awesome, brother. That's awesome, man. I couldn't answered it better myself, to be honest. I actually used to go around doing interviews with people and asking them that question of what would you say to the world if you only had 5 minutes to live and everyone in the world could hear you speak. I'm telling you, the answers that you receive from that question are the true jewels in life. Yeah. I mean, they blow you away, the response to that. And we've got about 8 minutes left on the podcast, so I would like you to take a few minutes to promote anything that promote your brand. Do you have a package that you sell? Do you have a Facebook page you want people to go to? So what's up? What do you have to offer?
You know what? I'm while I'm a good salesperson, and I know that, other people know that, I'm not a direct person that goes out and pushes stuff in terms of courses and all of that. I do my marketing, and people know this. They're watching Facebook. If anyone follows me on here or YouTube, they know that I do very, very kind of flow and marketing. I don't do direct kind of sales. Yes, I'm writing a book at the moment that's called Resilience. Go and get me some coffee, baby. So all of that stuff, right? So I'm not pushing sales upon people. So all that I will say to people, if you want to learn more about this industry, not just myself, not just me as a person, as a brand, as an individual, then look on Google, type in Amazon FBA, type in private labeling, go and see what I'm doing on Facebook. Go over to my YouTube, watch some of the videos, and more so than anything, just write down what I'm saying. I've been through more failures, more fuck-ups, more lessons learned than what I believe anybody else within this business model, and some of the stuff in life too. So it's not that I'm just trying to promote and make money all the time. For me, it's about helping as many other people develop what I've gained as much as I can, adding more value every single day, more branding, more marketing, getting myself out there so I can add more value and information to other people who don't know so much about this industry as much as I possibly can. And to me, that's the best sales, that I can so many more minds and eyes and ears up to what potential is truly out there. And just remember that anything is possible with your own two hands. So that all starts with your two hands, right? So I live in a world of possible, so transition between basic thinking and extraordinary thinking, which will get you from here in terms of a basic level to a remarkable level. So always keep learning. That's what I'll say. So no direct sales, no anything. Just go out and learn.
Hey, I should have known you wasn't in direct sales when I found out that you were a guru in Amazon, because that's what Amazon's all about, is taking the direct sales out of it and hitting it that way. So, brother, hey, man, I believe that this has been an amazing first episode to the Stay Humble, Hustle Hard podcast. I want to thank you for coming in. I want to thank everybody for joining us. Thank y'all, man. Y'all go and check out the legendary Chris Jones. Check him out over here. Let me see if I can point. I'm gonna get this right eventually. Being able to do this on camera, being able to point to the little logo and all that kind of cool stuff. But man, like I said, I appreciate you coming in. You have a blessed day, and I'm fixing to talk a little bit to the audience before we close it out. And then we are going to go on to the next episode of the Stay Humble, Hustle Hard podcast. Y'all don't forget to go to YouTube, subscribe to Chris's page. If you don't mind, Chris, drop all of your contact information in the comments below so people know how to get in touch with you and where to find you. All right, brother?
Yeah, bro. Thank you so much.
All right. Oh, shit. All right, here we go, man. All right, look, it has been an awesome episode of the My Stay Humble, Hustle Hard podcast. I'm your host, Tucker Bearden, and I appreciate y'all coming in. That was the legendary Chris Jones, the master of FBA. God, hey, man, look, I couldn't have asked for a better first guest. I couldn't have asked for anybody to knock it out of the park better than that. Look, don't forget to go over to Chris's Facebook page. Check him out. He's going to drop all his contact information in the comments. If you would like me to be a speaker at your event, don't forget to hit me up on my Facebook page. If you would like to be my next guest on the Stay Humble, Hustle Hard podcast, don't forget to hit me up. Drop a comment below. Tell me what you think. I want to hear y'all's opinions. All right. Y'all have a blessed day, and thank you for joining us on the Stay Humble, Hustle Hard podcast.